boy. Let me turn this off. All right, y'all. So today was the blood, sweat, and tears. Um, Hey, what's up, EMAC? What's good? Yo, I apologize for not blogging after every single get out of here. After every single battle, because ARP is different from URL, y'all. ARP, the next battle will take place like right away. What's up, Ace the God? The next battle was coming up like right away, back to back to back. So every time, starting from the first battle, which was Big K versus Sharon, which was a fire battle. Hey, Afro. From that first battle, I started to recap, y'all. Cut on my camera, and I'm about to recap it, and then boom, the next battle was taking place like 5 minutes later, right with me, into my recapping. So I said to myself, I'm just gonna wait for the event to be over before I do all my recaps. Now, right now, what's going on is that the last. I have somebody here, y'all. Forgive me. But anyway, right now the last battle did not take place yet. For some reason on the pay-per-view it says technical difficulties. So that last battle is Mr. Mills is supposed to be battling. Okay? Damn, who Mr. Mills supposed to be battling again? I kind of forgot. Right, B Magic, y'all. My bad. B Magic. Mr. Mills is supposed to battle B Magic, and I hope it's a good battle. Maybe they saying it's technical difficulties because B Magic not there yet. I don't know, but that's gonna be the last battle. So let's get right into it. I know I'm rambling. Let's get right into it. So the first matchup was Big Cannon versus Sharon. To me, this was the best one, y'all. So far, this was the best one. All right, Big Cannon, he goes first. Now, before I start, ARP was like, all right, for the first time in history, we're going to have 4 rounds. And I'm like, a 4th round? So he like, 4 rounds is going to be nothing but freestyle, them going back and forth. And that freestyle, that 4th round was so fire, y'all. I'm going to give y'all, some of the things that they were saying. I thought they were supposed to battle last night. Oh, I didn't know about that, but it's 7 battles on this card. So the last one is Mr. Mills versus B Magic is coming up. All right, so now I'm going to go. First round, Big Cannon come in. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. He was kind of lackluster to me. I just wrote a few things down. He was, of course, he brought up the angle about Sharon, about K-Shine slapping Sharon. All right, so he say something like when K-Shine slapped Sharon, he thought he was still in Dot Mob. He say something like that. Yes, EMAC, Math did battle. I'm gonna get right into that. Math did battle Heavy Calves. I'm gonna get it. I ain't gonna tell y'all yet, but I'm gonna get into that. Yes. Okay, so he said that he would have thought K-Shine was still in Dot Mob. Then he was like, he was talking about how Sharon is fake. It's like watching a fake get beat like Jesse Sumlit, whatever how you pronounce his name. Then he was talking about let it whisper at the white bitch. Then he says lose his legs like Lieutenant Dan, and I know that situation happened on that movie Forrest Gump. Lieutenant Dan didn't have no legs, so he was just okay, y'all. He just had basic bars, he was just okay. So I knew it was a good chance that Sharon was going to take that first round. So now Sharon comes. Okay, so Sharon turned up. Of course, he was funny like always. So he was like, time I get bucks from Cannon is a wild and out check. Then he says, buck heads to cater to the crowd. Haven't seen so many burgers in the White House since Trump's dinner. Now, remember that situation where Trump was supposed to have like a dinner for the football team, and he wound up buying all of these hamburgers and Big Macs from McDonald's? That shit was on the news. Like, that was like a slap in the face. Then he says, Mona Lisa, I connect no matter where I'm at. You know that Mona Lisa portrait where wherever you walk, her eyes will follow you. Hi, Vance. Okay, then he goes, white barber, you gonna regret this fade I got. you know. So then he started talking about how Big Cannon's been mid-tier for like 10 years now, like basically dissing Big Cannon. You've never been on Summer Madness, he was saying to Big Cannon. You're the worst Cannon ever, like comparing Big Cannon to young Cannon. Then he was like, you're a rookie that's battling a vet, when we know, of course, Big Cannon's also a vet. So that first round, okay, Sharon went in. Okay, I had to give that first round to Sharon. He was much funnier. He had better performance. Hi, Mr. Beasley. Yeah, yes, I'm going to get to the fourth round. Yes, Emac, that fourth round was fire. Okay, I wrote down some stuff too for the fourth round. So now we're going to go into round two. So I had to give the first round to Sharon. So now round two, Big Cannon finally turned up. He knew he had to turn up in this round. So he started off with talking about Arsenal and Sharon, comparing their credibility, their street credibility, the fact that they're both Crips. Okay, we talking about Big Cannon versus Sharon, Mr. Beasley. Okay, so I'm on round two with Big Cannon. Him talking about Arsenal and Sharon being both Crips, and how Arsenal's from Grape Street, Sharon is from the 60s gang, how he got jumped when he got jumped into the game. I'm talking about Sharon. Big Cannon was saying that they gave him a fake gun and basically giving him fake things to do. The way he said it and everything in the bar was kind of fire. Then he say something like, you cookie gorilla, now you got an animal cracker, you know, basically calling him a cracker. He talked about him posting that Confederate flag. Okay, Sharon posted that on his IG live one time, or on IG period. Okay, he talked about that, and then he say a bar like, I'm mad you posted a picture. I'm mad you posted the pic and didn't think nothing was wrong with it. You know, and when he said it hard, hit hard in the building. So he had a pretty good second round, Big Cannon. Really good second round. Okay, he really turned up. He had good energy, and he was really animated on that stage. All right, so I'm like, okay, this is getting good. The battle was getting, really good. So now we're going to Sharon round two. So now it started to get a little redundant with Sharon. He started talking about how his career again, talking about Big Cannon's career, how his career is dead, how he should be headlining Pearly Gates. It was kind of funny. Talking about you fat, I'm skinny, our hunger's different, he was saying. I thought that kind of was nice. I like this bar when he was like, no one wants to see Cannon, even you spell it with a K. And the way he said it, no one wants to see, like a C Cannon, even you spell it with a K. I thought that was kind of fire. Then he was talking about how, he was like, you're verified on Uber Eats, saying that he's verified on Uber Eats. So I thought that was funny. And then he even say something like, who wants to hear a Big Cannon line? I'd rather get slapped again by Shine, he was saying. And then of course he just kept talking about how his career fell off. So it did get a little redundant because he was already talking about Big Cannon's career falling off, and then he's gonna say it again in the second round. So that second round, I had to give it to Big Cannon. So now that's 1-1. He was cooking though. They both was cooking, Emac. They both was cooking after that second round. So the first round I gave to Sharon. Second round I gave to Cannon. So now we going to the third round. So Cannon goes, he starts talking about organic. So we know that Sharon battled a lot on KOTD, which on Organic is the league owner. So he says something like, everything is kosher when we meet. And I thought that was a nice line, kosher and then meat, but he meant the M-E-A-T, the meat. Thought that was kind of fire. He was talking about how he's the one that's giving him a shot, giving Sharon a shot instead of the vice versa. Okay, and then this line hit hard. I thought this line was fire when he was like, that Cannon put you on TV, this Cannon will put you on the news. I thought that was fire, because he's talking about Nick Cannon from Wild 'N Out put Sharon on TV, but he's like, this Cannon, me, Big Cannon, is going to put you on the news. So I thought that was fire. So he was talking about his career on Wild 'N Out, how you've been there for 5 seasons, but we only seen you the 5th of the season, he was saying. And then something happened where while he's battling, his phone rang. Okay, so when his phone rang in the middle of him battling, he was like, guess they was asking for your soul. that was Jesus on the other line. Some shit, he said that shit was so cold. Like, he had the whole building in a roar, you know? So, Big Cannon did really good in this third round. He had a slight hesitation here and there, but overall, Cannon was in his bag in that third round. So now we're going to Sharon's third round. I like when he said it's communion time. You're getting bodied by a cracker. And you know, in church, when you do communion, that's the blood and the body is supposed to take, you know, you eat the cracker. So I thought that was fire. Then he was saying like man on the left, man on the right, both arms looking like the Passion of Christ. He was going in. Yeah, Cannon is so overrated. And Sharon, I agree. You know, they both are. But to me, they had the best battle of the night so far. You know, didn't he say something like, think Falcon Stadium, pop out and pop your dome? Like, he was going in, Sharon. Then he was like, leave a handprint on Wilson, Castaway. You know, so he was going in, he was cooking a lot in that third round as well. I'm not going to lie, y'all, it's hard for me to figure out who won that third round. I'm going to say it's debatable because this is on the first watch. But when I watch it again, you know, then I'll give y'all, you know, who I thought won that third round. So first is Sharon. Second, I got Cannon. The third, I got debatable. But the fourth, I know who won the fourth, which is that freestyle round. All right, so this was fire. This is something I've never seen before. Okay, so first I'm thinking it's gonna be like a back and forth, like how round one, round two is. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm thinking Big Cannon's gonna go for a while, like a good 2 minutes freestyling before Sharon would go freestyle his part, but it wasn't like that, y'all. They literally going back and forth. Sharon say one line, freestyle it, and then boom. Then Big Cannon say his freestyle. He'll freestyle over something that Sharon said, and then it just kept going back and forth. It was so fire. So then they was talking about a cat, and then Sharon was talking about the bottle from the cat, and then here go Big Cannon. He's talking about the cap and how he capped the gun, and you know this is the freestyling shit. Then they talking about a wedding gown, and then Sharon say something about a wedding gown, and then here come Big Cannon talking about the 3 veil shit was fire. Then talking about a cute female, and then Sharon started picking up with his freestyle, and he was saying something like disappear like Hillary's email. Okay, and then Big Cannon come on, and he was like one line can trump that shit. I forget, but all I know is fire. It was fire, y'all. Y'all just have to watch the battle. Then they was talking about prescription drug, and Sharon was talking about the vasectomy, and then Big Cannon freestyled off of the vasectomy. Funny you talking about vasectomy, but couldn't do shit about DNA. Well, that's what Sharon said. It's funny you talking about vasectomy, but couldn't do shit about DNA. You know, and then Sharon also said, if I want to see a pussy popping, I'll go to Magic City. Now, after a while, so it was fire, then they stopped, and then the crowd wanted more of the freestyling. So the crowd was like, more, more, more. So once they started freestyling even more, now Big Cannon drops the ball, y'all. Now Big Cannon starts stumbling, and he just started saying some corny shit, and the crowd wasn't feeling it. Everything Sharon was saying, though, of course, was hitting, and it was fire. So that fourth round, definitely had to give the fourth round to Sharon. His freestyling ability is off the chain, off the dome. He definitely won that fourth round. All right, so now I'm going to get to the next battle, which was J Murder versus Bad News. Okay, so this was a pretty good battle. It was okay. Okay, J Murder starts first. Now, one thing about J Murder, he projects his voice so loudly, and he's very aggressive and stuff, but I noticed he just had a lot of filler in his rounds. I'm just going to be honest with y'all. He had a lot of filler in his round. He had certain good moments like, ooh, you know, but for the most part, it was a lot of filler. But I did write some things out. One thing I like he said, it's Porky Pig when they look at the body because that's the folk. I thought that was fire, you know. Bad news beat rock to you, Moss? Yeah, I could afford the purchase. No more people into the resolution. I love forms too much. Yeah, I hope, the resolution card is going to be pay-per-view, because what I'm noticing, they keep putting out the trailers and they're not even mentioning any pay-per-views at all, y'all. They're just saying something about the tickets. That's all they're mentioning is the tickets, but they're not saying nothing about pay-per-view. So I am kind of afraid that the resolution card is not going to be pay-per-view. Even when I go on Twitter, I'm seeing some people confirming it that it's not going to be on pay-per-view. Okay, but the first round by Jay Murder, I'm gonna keep it a buck with y'all. Hey HB, thank you, thanks. You like the glasses? Thank you. I have astigmatism, so that means I can't see too far away. So whenever I'm writing or reading something, I do or if I'm driving, I like to wear my prescription glasses. Now, going back to Jay Murder, y'all. The first round was very short, was pretty lackluster, okay? He wasn't getting barely no crowd reaction, y'all. I'm just keeping it real with y'all. He was barely getting no crowd reaction in that first round. It was pretty kind of boring, I'm gonna be honest. Now, Bad News first round, okay? Bad News was talking some stuff, okay? He was saying something like, he was talking about JC, how Jay Murder had battled JC, and how he called him a nigga bitch. So he was like, why are you trying to chill with this nigga bitch? Something like that he said. And then he was like, this a big nose. I came to introduce Murder to Mook. I thought that was fire, how he said that bar. And then he was like, I already look Murder in the eyes. And then he's like, thank you, E-Mac. I'm still cute with my glasses, thank you. And then he says something, this line I really like about Bad News. He was like, ugly body. I've been carrying this bitch for 9 months. Stretch marks. I thought that was fire. Like, Bad News was on one, y'all. He was so aggressive. They both was very aggressive, by the way. They kept pushing each other, in the ring. But, at times they would give each other dabs and, laugh at each other bars and stuff. But for the most part, they were battling, like pushing and everything in the ring. So that first round, definitely Bad News. Okay, he had better bars. People, he had a lot of crowd reaction, great stage performance, and lots of energy. Very aggressive as well. So now we're going to round two. In round two, Jay Murder, I did like when he say, I banged the fifth. Gun smoke made him sneeze. The staples ripped. I thought that was fire. He was but that's like the only fire thing he said, y'all. I'm no lie in that second round. Like, he didn't say he wasn't really giving me much to write. But he did turn up a little bit more. He was a little, funny in the second round, and he was very aggressive. But that I banged the fifth. Gun smoke made him sneeze. The staples ripped. I thought that was still fire. Okay, so now we're going to round two with Bad News. Now, I like when he said, I'm a Biggie fan. Jay trying to copycat. Remember back in the days when Biggie Smalls was out, they used to always say JC was copying Biggie Smalls and, his style and his bars and everything. So I thought that line hit. I'm a Biggie fan. Jay trying to copycat. Talking about Jay Murder, of course. I should spit in your face. You lucky I want my other half. I thought that was funny. He had people laughing because he was so aggressive, And then he called out Math Hoffa, y'all. Check out what he said. Hoffa, you next. Come get a dose. I'll Hoffa you next. I'm serious. Woo! This gonna be a disaster if I don't get my proper respect. So that's what he was saying in the crowd, calling out Math Hoffa. Now that Math Hoffa had that body with well, it wasn't a real body, but y'all know what I mean. He 3-0 Hollow. Now he got a lot of battle rappers calling him out. Okay, then he say something like, this a 4-4. I put him in front of Clip. That's a photo. I thought that was kind of nice. So to me, he was cooking again, y'all. He was cooking again. He had better bars, better stage performance. I had to give that second round also to Bad News. To me, 2-0 already. 2-0. I had to give the second one to Bad News. Now the third round, okay, hold on, y'all. Somebody at my door. Hold on. bad. So, the third round by Jay Murder. He was okay. Hey, get your bars up, media. Salute. What's up, y'all? Who's that? They want to know who you are. I can't tell y'all that. But anyway, okay, so the third round by Jay Murder, he was aggressive. He had pretty good bars. He turned up, but I just didn't write nothing down, y'all. I was trying to listen in. I didn't write much down, but the third round from Bad News was on fire. I like when he said on Murder Ave, about to knock off this knockoff, and then he says Cortez, like basically saying that Jay Murder is a knockoff of Cortez. I thought that was funny. Then he was like, anytime a nigga can cross eyes is when my burner is on the nose. Anytime a nigga can cross my eyes is when burner's on the nose. He say something like that. Why y'all helping him? Last time we seen Jay Black is on Champion, he says. And he battling Jay Murder. So he say, last time we saw Jay Black, meaning like Jay blacking out on stage, is on Champion. So I thought that was funny. And he was like, they control people, so I always keep the heat up high like old people. I thought that was fire. You know how old people, I know my grandparents is always hot in their goddamn house. So that third round, Bad News, I had to give it to Bad News again. I feel like Bad News 3-0 Jay Murder, y'all. Bad News 3-0 Jay Murder. So Sharon had beat, what's his name? Big Cannon. And Bad News beat Jay Murder 3-0. All right, so now we're going to go to Ill Will versus Scotty. Now, Ill Will. What can I say about Ill Will? He had pretty good moments, but I must admit, I feel like Ill Will is just slightly falling off a little bit. Like, sometimes he go hard, and he's funny. Like, we all know Ill Will is funny. But sometimes his bars could be a little bit too basic for me. Like, I was a little shocked about the battle with him and what's his name? Serious Jones. He gave Serious Jones a chance to call it debatable. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's just not the same to me. He need to step it up. But he did okay. I'm not saying he was trash or anything. He still did pretty good. He's just not the same. And he has some basic bars. Now, I do like when he says something like styrofoam boxes where we keep them organs in. He was saying something like that. You on the main line and Jesus on the other, like hang up the phone, he said. And I heard that bar already. Okay? I heard that one. Then he say something like, I'll put a bullet hole on a RIP tag, like RIP that. So of course he was in his funny bag, but he was just okay to me in the first round. He was just okay. So now we're going to go to Scotty's first round. So Scotty says something like, headshot, boom, have your thoughts everywhere. That's how we spread rumors. What's up, Paris? Yeah. So no, K-Shine ain't over here. I ain't dealing with no battle rappers. Hell no. It ain't like that. They think you K-Shine. But anyway, then he said, I think this is what he said, sit on these arms like there's no room on the couch. I believe that's what Scotty said. I'm not sure if that was Ill Will bar or Scotty's bar. But anyway, the first round, I had to give it to Scotty. I think Scotty turned up a little bit more. He had a little bit better bars than Ill Will did. Now, I think Ill Will knew this because in the second round, that's when Ill Will turned up. Okay, he had this scheme where he was talking about Den and Scott. Den and Scott. He just kept saying Den and Scott. Then I take you to the den, and then I do this to Scott, and then I come in the house, and then I Scott. And like he just kept saying that, and it was fire though. Like it was fire. The crowd was feeling him. Okay, so then in the second round with Scotty did something similar, but it was a pistol scheme. He kept saying, pistol this, then pistol that. But he was doing it the whole entire second round, no lie. The whole entire second round, Scotty kept saying, doing that pistol scheme. And then he ended it. Okay, so The second round, I had to definitely give it to Ill Will. Ill Will did turn up a little bit more once the second round came. Okay, so the first round was Scotty, second round was Ill Will. Now I'm gonna keep it a buck with y'all. I started to eat something. That's when my company came over. So that third round, I didn't really catch. Okay, but so far one and one. They each got 1-1. And I'll let y'all know another time who won the third round. Okay, so now we're gonna go into Cortez and St. Mike's. Damn, that battle still didn't come up yet? Wow, y'all, we still waiting for Mr. Mills versus B Magic. Okay, so I don't know what's going on with that battle. All it's saying is technical difficulties. So that's why I said let me go on live right now and give y'all what I got so far before it gets too late, because we don't know how long this is going to take. All right, but this last one I'm going to give y'all, or is it two more? It's two more. It's two more. Cortez versus St. Mike, and then Mav Hoffa versus Heavy Hat. So with Cortez first round, I was very impressed with Cortez. I was waiting for this battle. I really wanted to see what Cortez was working with. Okay, so he says something like, you can tongue kiss the Glock if you need affection. So I thought that was okay. Then he goes, dose off perks, pill, it's only night, you take 2 to the head, or some shit he said. Like, remember, this is our first watch, I'm trying to catch everything they saying. Okay, we at the Vatican, I'll leave Saint stain on the wall. That was fire to me. Because you know, in churches, like the Vaticans and stuff, the stains, you know, they have the picture of the Jesus and all the apostles and all of that stain on the wall. And he's talking about Saint Mike, the saint. Thought that was fire. They have the angels on the windows, and it's like a stain, you know, but of course they painted on the windows and stuff. So I thought that was fire. So I ain't gonna lie, y'all, I ain't write shit down for Saint Mike. I'm just gonna keep it real. Like, Saint Mike was boring to me. Saint Mike, I was trying my best to really get in tune with what St. Mike was saying. Now that first round, he was talking about correlation and coordination. He did have like a fire line. He had like one fire bar that I like, okay, but I didn't get a chance to write it down. Something about correlation and coordination. But I almost fell asleep, you know, like I wasn't really feeling St. Mike. He was boring, and the crowd, it seemed like the crowd agreed that he was boring. So now here come Cortez, and so the first round, definitely Cortez. Now Cortez come in round 2, Cortez even turned up even more. He says something like, Michelangelo, I'm joining the Saint, like the 6th chapel, or some shit he said. Then he was like, I'll flash through your whip, like license and registration. I thought that was fire, because you know how when cops come with the flashlight and they ask for your license and registration, but of course he meant the flash of the gun, okay, like license and registration. I thought that was fire. Then he says something like, SunTrust, I'll knock this bitch out the ballpark. Fire. Because you know the SunTrust brand, which is ballparkers, the hot dogs, whatever. Thought that was nice. He said, I'm a dope veteran. Mike about to die from his own medicine. Thought that was fire. Now that was a name flip, because we all know Michael Jackson, okay, he died from his own medicine, from overdosing on some pills or whatever. So I thought that was fire. So Cortez turned up even more in the second round. So again, St. Mike was boring. He ended it very short, and I could tell that because the crowd was not feeling St. Mike, that's why he ended his round short, because he just got frustrated that he wasn't getting no crowd reaction, nothing, yo. They was not feeling him. They wasn't showing him no love, really. And I kind of felt bad for him, but you know, he just wasn't giving it, okay? Now we're gonna go to round 3, Cortez. Now Cortez just stumbles a little bit in the beginning. Okay, he says something like, if Saint can touch the kid, he must have been a Catholic. Then he was like, they still don't know your face after giving Michael Myers. I thought that was fire, because you know Danny Myers battled Saint Mike. Okay, so when he said they still don't know your face after giving Michael Myers, meaning people still don't know who you are after they gave Michael, which is Saint Mike, Danny Myers. I thought that was fire. Okay, so then he says, it was like they just think you cocked like that like Vlad TV. I thought that was funny. They just think you cop like Vlad TV. And we all know on Vlad TV, everybody suspects him of being a cop because so many rappers who've been on his show, who's been interviewed by Vlad, they've been getting indicted. So a lot of speculation about Vlad TV. So I thought that was fire. Then he says this last bar, Saint Patrick, you miss your shot. And it's St. Patrick's Day, we battling back to back. I kind of missed that bar, I'm sorry y'all. But he says something like that. So now the third round, St. Mike goes. He was pretty boring. Okay, so basically, Cortez 3-0 St. Mike, y'all. Definitely a 3-0. Like, it seemed like it was a lot of 3-0s. You know, the only really good one that I really enjoyed was Sharon versus Big Cannon. Oh, my bad. SunTrust is Atlantic Brave Homes. Okay, I thought that was the brand. Oh, Ballpark, I'm thinking is, it's the Franks, right? Oh, okay. Right, it's the Franks. That's what I said. The Ballpark was the Franks. I said that, but SunTrust, I thought is the stadium. My bad, y'all. Okay. So now we're going to go to, this is the last matchup so far. Like I keep saying, I'm waiting for the last battle to happen, which would be Mr. Mills versus B Magic. So, Math Hoffa. Now, I was scared for Math, y'all. I was so scared because I'm like, oh, Math better come with it. Math better win after beating Hollow. And he didn't disappoint, y'all. He didn't. So, first round. He says something like, you from Boys Town where they take cock in the ass? And then he kept saying, but you not from Chirac, like saying that, because we all know Heavy Half is from Chicago, basically. So he kept saying, you from Chicago, but you ain't from Chirac. You from Boys Town where they take cock in the, and then he didn't say ass, but we all got it, okay? Then he was talking about if I free Shotty, I'll give half the time. You know, I thought that was kind of nice. So Math was in his bag. I ain't gonna lie though, he did start off kind of short, you know, kind of slow, I meant to say. Math Hoffa did start off kind of slow, so I was a little bit worried, like, oh God, you know what I'm saying? He, you know, it don't seem like he coming with it. But then after a while, he started cooking in the round. Okay, it seemed like he gained his confidence and he started cooking. So now Heavy Half go, and he's in his round so short. And like I said, I'm having company, so I'm watching it with somebody else. And even that person was saying, like, this shit is boring. Like, he wasn't really saying much. And he ended it dumb short, y'all. So I didn't have a chance to write nothing down. So definitely, even though Math wasn't all that, he still was better than Heavy Half in that first round. So I had to give the first round to Math. Now we're going to round two with Math. I wrote a few bars down. He says something like, I'll drop half his block on the ad, so do have to do, okay. I'll drop half his block on the ab, so it's do have to do. I messed something up, so I'll do have to do this battle, some shit like that. I'm sorry, y'all, I messed that bar up. But he basically was talking about how he's battling Heavy Half and that he already had battled Ab. So remember, Ab 3'd him. So, he said, I dropped this half on his block on Ab, so I wouldn't have to do this battle. That's what he said. Then he said something like, she on the wood tip and you getting smoked. It's a black and mild. That's who's in the building. And then he says something like, he started talking about his struggles and why he was apologizing to all his fans, basically, talking about what was going on, you know, in his life, talking about his struggles, why he wasn't staying focused, and he was basically real rapping. You know how Calico says the difference between metaphors and real rap? He started just talking about his life, and it was some real rap shit, and people was feeling it, you know, so he went hard in the second round. All right, so now with Heavy Half, I'm talking about, okay, so that was the third round. Heavy Half, you know, he was just boring again. Like, I don't know what's going on with these battlers, but they're not really coming with it. He was boring. I didn't get a chance to write nothing in the third round for Heavy Half. Now, for the third round, round. So second round, I gave it to Mav. Third round, Mav comes. Mav starts stumbling. I started getting a little worried, but he still won the first two already. Okay, but then he got it together. All right, so he started, cooking in the third round. He basically took the third round. Now, with Heavy Half ended it short in the third round, but he did talk about how he hate New York, he hate New York's pizza, and how at the face-off with Hollow Don and Mav, they talking about drugs on camera, and if that was him and he was in the battle would have been done or some shit like that he was talking about. Yeah. So Heavy Half, he kept ending the round very, very short and speeding through his bars that you couldn't really hear everything he was saying. So Mav also had a 30. Like, to me, this card was just, if I had to rate it on a scale of 1 to 10, I would probably, I would say 4, 5, maybe. 5 is pushing it. 3, damn, 3. I don't know if I would give it a 3, y'all. But I think I would probably give it a 4 or 5 at the most so far. Like I said, I didn't see Mr. Mills and B Magic yet, so I guess I'll just do a blog on that battle once I get the chance to see it. It's shot, you gonna turn up. Yeah, E-Mac, I guess because they're low tiers, you know what I mean? But Heavy Half wasn't all that great. Also, but the other one was great. The one that battled, what's his name? The one that battled Jay Murder. Okay, he was really good. He was good. He was the only one to me, y'all, that was really, really good. Bad News. I keep forgetting his name. Bad News was really good. Jay Murder to me was okay. Ill Will was pretty good. Ill Will was pretty good. Scotty, he was just okay to me. Scotty was just okay. A lot of them was just okay. You know what I mean? But thank God the card was only $35, so I'm not that mad. You know what I'm saying? It's just that I like to support other leagues other than the URL. You know what I'm saying? I like to support RBE as well. But so, like I said, I'll come back with the last battle once they drop it, because I don't know. I don't know what's going on, y'all. All right, then. So, I'll see y'all later.